Hey everyone. Okay, so today we are going to go through the listing process. And it all starts out with what you do before you actually go on the listing appointment. So step one is set the appointment and pre-qualify the seller. So I want to go through that with you guys real quick on what it takes to properly pre-qualify the seller before you actually go to the meeting. It's almost like the same thing as a doctor when he gives you that questionnaire to fill out beforehand so he knows exactly what's going on. So I want you guys to make sure that you 100% follow a good pre-qualification and pre-listing process. So here is our listing questionnaire. Let me move this a little bit. So listing questionnaire, first thing is go through motivation. We're going to go through these questions here in a second. Start out with the motivation. You can put the date of appointment, where you got it by, who it was set by, if you had an inside sales agent or something like that. So review their motivation. Talk about the house, obviously, so you can do a really good CMA. And then the financials, crucial. Tracking, you could ask these questions here. This is going to set you up for a really, really good appointment. And then all of the contact information that you want for whoever is going to be at that appointment. So that is number one. Now we're going to go through these real quick and why we ask them. So motivation, starting out with motivation. Why are you thinking about selling? Lock that down. Don't let them have a wishy-washy answer. That's an extremely important one. Where are you moving? Find out if you need to do a buyer consultation along with the listing presentation. Do you have a sense of your timeline? Another additional question I like to say is when they say, well, our timeline is so-and-so. You could add in, hey, if I sold your home within 30 to 60 days, would that pose a problem to you? Of course, that's also going to give you an inkling of the level of motivation. Then, will you be receiving any corporate relocation assistance? This is, of course, just finding out, is this a job change type of move? Are you considering selling your house? FSBO, that for sale by owner. That is going to give you an inkling. Are they thinking about doing it themselves? If you were to think about the motivation of selling your home on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you couldn't care less if it sells, and 10 being you want it sold yesterday, where do you land? This is a great one. So you know exactly, is this a 10 or is this a 1? What kind of appointment am I going on? And then if it's not a 10, what would it take to make it a 10? And what's so crucial about that is it gives you an inkling of like, okay, what would we need to do? Maybe they need to get pre-qualified for it to be a 10. Maybe they need to find their new home first for it to be a 10. And if for some reason your house doesn't sell, what are you thinking about doing? It kind of lets you know what kind of response are they going to give you. Nope, not selling is not an option. Great, level 10 motivated. Well, if it doesn't sell, we'll just stay for another 5 years. Maybe you would be questioning motivation. Okay, so then moving on to the house, of course, tell me a little bit about your home. Or I might say, quickly describe your home to me. And then you obviously want to find out how many square feet. That gives you, so you can figure out price per square foot. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many acres, how long have you lived there, and what did you buy it for would be another one. Have you done any updates or remodeling? Crucial. How would you rate your home on a scale of 1 to 10 and why? Then it's so important because most of the time people don't say a 10. And then when you would say, what will it take to make it a 10? Or what would it take to make it a 10? Okay, also super crucial, financials. You have to know these before you go on the listing appointment. How much do you think your house is worth? You have to know that. They might give you objections like, well, that's what you're for. And then the objection handler sometimes is, well, what are some other homes around in your area that are selling? Can you give me some of those? So crucial. Or, hey, what would it be? How much would it take for you to walk away super happy? See, so you can kind of change that around, but you have to know that. How much do you owe on your mortgage? Is there a second mortgage? How much do you owe on that? Now, sometimes if people don't want to give that, I will say, hey, I'd like to send over a net sheet showing you what you would net from a sale ahead of time, but I need to know the mortgage balance there, and just ask it, what is the mortgage? Do you have a sense of how much you would like to net? Meaning how much do they want to walk away with? Are you up to date on payments? Just finding out, is it a short sale or not? Are you the sole owner of your house? Okay, If they say no, or who, if you could also say who else is on title or whatever, find out who, because they have to be at the appointment as well. Will all decision makers be at the appointment? Of course, that is huge, 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 huge. Do not show up to that appointment if there's only one person and it's two people in the decision. And do you own any other real estate, investment, second home, stuff like that? And then, of course, tracking, you could ask, how did you hear about us? If you didn't know, if it wasn't a referral or anything. And then what are the 3 things you expect from a realtor? Set that up, because you are going to ask that again at the listing appointment. But set that up. Say, what are the 3 things you're expecting from an agent? And then, are you setting other appointments? Are you meeting with anyone else? Who and when? Definitely want to know, are you in competition for this listing? So that is so crucial. I printed these out for myself. I encourage you guys to do the same. Print those out, have them with you at all times. So when you do actually get that seller appointment, somebody wants to meet, you run them through the process. Now, to set that up, by the way, you do just say, hey, we have the appointment at 10 o'clock. Hey, I need 5 or 10 minutes to ask you some questions so I can be fully prepared for the meeting. So please, I encourage you guys 100% to do a good pre-qualification. Ask all these questions and you'll know exactly what kind of appointment you are going into. So that is step 1. So step